Hello students, welcome back to the chapter Metals and Non-Metals. So previous session of this chapter we had learned about the concept of enrichment of ore, isn't it? So today we shall go for the second step, that is extracting of metals. But do keep in mind, not the same process will be followed for all the metals. So different metals will be extracted in different ways depending upon their reactions, depending upon their reactivity series. About reactivity series already we have studied in the previous classes, isn't it? So the metals which will be very low in reaction, they will be placed at the bottom, whereas metals which will be medium in reaction, they will be placed in the middle, and the metals which are highly reactive, that will be placed at the top of the series. So based on their reactivity series, the metals will be extracted, right? Extraction of metals are low, which are low in the activity series, that will be different. And next, metals will be extracted in the middle of the activity series and extracting metals towards the top of the activity series. So all the three all the metals will be categorized into three. So based on the reactivity series, that is low reactivity series, middle of the reactivity series and the top of the reactivity series. So let us have a look at this video and understand it very well, as there are many important questions regarding this concept. So note down all the important points and also the equations regarding the extraction of these metals.
Extracting of metals. After the metals are separated from their ores, they are classified based on their reactivity. The following are the various categories of metals grouped as per their reactivities. Extracting metals low in the activity series, as you can see here. Metals that low in the activity series are very unreactive. The oxides of these metals are reduced to metals by heating alone. That means cinnabar HGS is an ore of mercury. When it is heated in air, it is first converted into mercuric oxide, that is HgO, and for the heating, it is reduced to mercury. Extracting metals in the middle of the activity series. Here you can see the metals in the middle of the activity series are moderately reactive. These metals are usually present as sulfides or carbonates in nature. It is easier to obtain a metal from its oxide. Therefore, first these metals need to be converted into their oxides. And the process used to convert sulfide ores by heating strongly in the presence of excess air is known as roasting. The process used to convert carbonate ores by heating strongly in limited air is known as calcination. And these are the two important terms to it that is very much important. The highly reactive metals such as sodium, calcium and aluminium are used as reducing agents because they can displace metals of lower reactivity from their compounds. These displacement reactions are highly exothermic. It means the amount of heat evolved is so large that the metals are produced in the molten state. The reaction of iron oxide, that is Fe2O3, with aluminium is used to join railway tracks or cracked machine parts. This reaction is known as the Thermit reaction. Keep in the mind, student, the term Thermit reaction. Extracting metals towards the top of the activity series. Here you can see the metals that are high up in the reactivity series are very reactive and cannot be obtained from their compounds by heating with carbon, as these metals have more affinity for oxygen than carbon. These metals are obtained by electrolytic reduction.
And now we will study about the electrolytic refining of the metals. That is refining of the metals. In that we will this refining of metals we will study by taking an example of the copper. So we will learn about the refining of copper, and to refine the copper we will use the electrolytic process. So electrolytic refining of copper, the related figure will be figure number 3.12 in your textbook, and it is a very important diagram diagram is a point of view of examination student. So practice well the diagram and concentrate onto the process.
Electrolytic refining. Electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining is a process of obtaining pure metal by the process of electrolysis. In this method, an electric current is passed through a solution called electrolyte that contains dissolved metals. This causes the dissolved metal to deposit onto the negatively charged cathode. Let us see how pure copper is obtained by this process. Take an impure copper rod as an anode and a thin sheet of pure copper as cathode in an electrolytic cell containing an acidified solution of copper sulfate as electrolyte. When you pass an electric current through the electrolyte, you can observe that copper from the impure copper anode gets dissolved in the solution as copper 2 plus ions. These ions get reduced to copper at the cathode and get deposited on it. On the other hand, the sulfate ions migrate to the impure copper anode and combine with it to form copper sulfate, which goes to the electrolyte. Alternatively, the less electropositive impurities settle down as anode mud. The reactions involved in this process are shown here, that is, the Cu2 plus ion on electrolyte which gives and deposits Cu at the cathode. Similarly, at anode, the Cu of impure anode oxidizes and gives Cu2 plus ion.
And now, here is about the corrosion and prevention of corrosion. Corrosion means zamkhana. You might have observed in your home some of the metals, vessels which are made up of metals like iron, zinc and aluminium and so on. They will get rusted, right? So that is nothing but the corrosion. So that we will study different metals will corrode in different ways, and that we will see in the corrosion, and we will also know how to prevent this corrosion. So let us have a look at this video and understand about the corrosion and prevention of corrosion.
Corrosion of metals. Corrosion. The gradual destruction of metal due to the effect of its surrounding environment is called corrosion. Due to corrosion, properties of metal degrades. The familiar example of corrosion is iron. You might have seen the brown color appeared on things made of iron. This is due to corrosion. Rusting of iron. Iron reacts with moist air and forms brown, easily breakable coating on the surface called rust. And the process of formation of rust is called rusting. Corrosion of copper. Copper metal reacts with moist carbon dioxide and air and loses its shine and forms green coating of copper carbonate on its surface. Corrosion of silver. When silver articles exposed to air for long time, then it reacts with hydrogen sulfide present in air and forms black coating of silver sulfide. Corrosion of aluminium. Aluminium reacts with atmospheric oxygen and forms a thin layer of aluminium oxide. This layer prevents further corrosion. Prevention of corrosion. Corrosion can be prevented if the contact between metal and the air is cut off. For example, coating metals with paint, oil, grease or varnish prevents the corrosion temporarily. Similarly, other methods are galvanizing. The process of forming a thin coating of zinc on iron or steel is called galvanizing. For example, shiny iron nails, pins, etc. Since zinc is more reactive than iron, hence it gets corroded, preventing corrosion of iron. Tinning. The process of giving a tin coating to other metal is called tinning. Cooking vessels which are made of copper and brass are given a coating of tin to prevent corrosion. Electroplating. Electroplating is a method in which coating is formed on other metal by using electrolysis. For example, silver-plated spoons, gold-plated jewelry, etc. Anodizing. In this method, metals such as copper and aluminium are coated with thin strong layer of their oxide. This oxide layer prevents further oxidation of the metal. Alloying. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or metal and non-metal in specific proportion. Alloy did not corrode easily. During formation of alloy, if one metal is taken as mercury, then the alloy is called amalgam. For example, brass is made of copper and zinc. Bronze is made of copper and tin. Stainless steel is made of iron, nickel, chromium and carbon.
And by this, here comes the end of this chapter, metal side, non-metal. So complete and remember all the points explained both on the blackboard and also into the animated video. So submit your works